Hi guys, another little Halloween project. Been to Poundland today and they're selling these little skeleton birds and rats for that matter. But I was looking at the bird and I was thinking there's a bit of space in the skull there. These tealights also come from Poundland, and they have a little flickering yellow LED in them. So I was wondering if I take the LEDs out of these tealights, put them in the eyes and see if we can organise the button cell inside the head somewhere. Not quite sure how I'm going to do it. I don't think you can solder directly to these button cells. They'll probably overheat and bubble up, maybe even burst if you're really unlucky. But there might be something we can do that will allow us to get the button cell inside. The nice thing about this is that's a set of 4 for £1. So that's 4 CR2032 3-volt button cells and 4 LEDs and a little holder for holding the button cell in. The on-off switch, if we can get this apart, is nothing very clever. All it does is pushes one leg of the LED to make contact with the side of the button. Right, so when the switch goes along, it's pushing that bit of metal. So the LED, that's one leg of the LED there. That's the other leg that makes contact with that little spring there. So that's the switch. But that might be a convenient little container for the button cell, because I might be able to cut that and fit it inside. Let's see if we can get the head off first. I looked in the shop and it looked like it might pop apart. We can't get that straight in there, but if I cut it around a bit, that should give us something to hold the button cell. First thing I'm doing is checking that both LEDs will light up with one button cell. Might not be able to use this. Might not be quite enough room. That's a shame. I've got some single core wire or single conductor, so I'm going to wind that up. And then I'm going to wrap some tape round there to hold it in place. So there we are, that's just ordinary clear tape wrap round it. By winding the wire up into little sort of spring shapes, that helps it make contact. So now that's going to fit in there quite easily. And I'll drill some holes in there for the LED eyes to stick out. And what I think I'll do to make it really simple, I'll just have 2 wires sticking out the back of the head that we can just twist together to make contact, and then untwist them to turn it off again. Do be careful when you're doing this sort of thing, don't push it straight through into your hand. That's just going to end in tears if you do that. It'll be best if you can leave them a tight fit, because that'll stop them falling out. So that's our LEDs in position. We've got the same legs together. Yeah, I'm going to solder my wires together, but you could very easily just twist them if you don't have a soldering iron. That's the wiring done, so I'll just show you what I've done. We've got the negative leg of one of the LEDs is linked to the negative leg of the other LED, and then that goes down and is connected to the negative of the button cell, just taped in place as I showed you earlier. Then the positive side of the button cell is this white wire, which I've tied a knot in it there so we can't accidentally pull it through the back of the skull. Comes out there, I've cut it, and then the other side of it goes back in the skull, another knot in it so it can't be pulled through, and then that's, in my case, soldered to the positive leg of both LEDs joined together there. You could twist these wires if you don't have a soldering iron, but I do, so I've soldered it up. So now, to make the LEDs light, all we need to do is connect those bits of wire together. All up together. So we've just got the 2 wires hanging out the back. But if I twist them together, the LEDs light up, and because they're special LEDs that flicker anyway, we don't need any additional circuitry to make them flicker. Job done. I like that one. Just for reference, I was looking at the rat to see if we could do a similar thing with the rat, and possibly we wouldn't be able to get the button cell inside the skull because it's too small, and it's made in 2 halves and glued right along that join there, so it'll be difficult to get apart, but we could probably hide the button cell just up under the rib cage there, because in the dark nobody will see it anyway. So that's a possibility, but it'll be more difficult than the crow or bird was.